September is upon us, folks, and in case you haven't been paying attention, this promises to be a big, big month for cryptocurrency. So,
hold on to your butts.
Now, the main event for this month is, of course, Ethereum's merge, and you probably don't need to be a hardcore Bitcoin maxi to be sick of hearing about that by now. But there is a whole lot of other stuff going on this September, and before I give you a rundown of all the important going-ons to look out for, I need to give credit to this Reddit post by VJava, which appeared a few days ago and inspired this video. And if you're a dedicated Redditor, then do check it out because it has a lot of Moon-related info too. Link below. So, the first big September date to be aware of is in fact today, because it's the deadline for US government agencies to respond to President Biden's executive order on cryptocurrency issued way back in March when, well, things were a bit different to what they are now. The upshot to these responses will be a long old report outlining the case for a US central bank digital currency, and you can bet that little tushy of yours will be covering that report when it comes out. So stay tuned. Don't go anywhere though, because tomorrow, the 6th of September, is Ethereum's Bellatrix upgrade, which sets the merge in motion. More on that in a moment. Next up is the 13th of September, when the latest Consumer Price Index, or CPI, data is released in the US. Now, this will tell us how hot inflation was running in August, and chances are it'll be hot with a capital H, O, and T. So, you know the drill with this by now. If it shows an increase from July's figure, then markets will likely dump because the Fed will be expected to continue its aggressive interest rate hikes. If it shows a decrease, then markets will become irrationally exuberant for a short while because that might suggest inflation has peaked because the Fed's rate rises are working and perhaps future hikes may not be as severe. Now, if you watched our analysis of Jerome Powell's recent speech at the Jackson Hole Symposium, then you'll know that the Fed is prioritizing beating inflation above all else. So the CPI for August will have to be significantly lower than July's for a gentler rate hike to be likely. Hey, just saying. Then, yeah boy, it's the big one because it's merge time. As things stand, Ethereum is set to finally transition to proof of stake on either the 15th or possibly even the 14th of September, depending on network activity. Remember, the merge is scheduled for a certain block height rather than a date prescribed by the devs, hence why an exact date can't be given. All the more reason then to pay close attention, folks, because Ethereum seems determined to keep all of us on our toes. If you want more about the merge, I don't blame you if you don't, then check out the video I made last week about it. And if you're thinking, gosh darn it, how do I prepare myself for the merge and what steps do I need to take with my ETH and any ERC20 tokens in advance, then stop reading my mind and watch out for the next video I'll be doing about just that in the next day or so. Now, the merge won't mark the end of Super September because there's even more to come after that. The next date for your diary is the 21st, when the Federal Reserve governors convene for their first Open Markets Committee meeting since their summer holidays. After comparing photos, moaning about their already fading suntans, and debating who caught the biggest fish, probably, they will knuckle down to the day's less consequential business of deciding on the next interest rate hike. The expectations are for 75 basis points. Those hopium smokers out there will be praying for 50, and interest rates will go up one way or another. So, folks, we've just got to eat it. Now, by now, you're probably thinking, by Jiminy, if September gets any more exciting, I may not be able to make it till October. But remain seated, because we ain't done yet. Just a few days ago, Charles Hoskinson announced a date for Cardano's much anticipated and much delayed Vassal hard fork, and that is the 22nd of September. Now, this just so happens to coincide with Bulgarian Independence Day, a noteworthy coincidence because Vassal is named for the late Vasil Dabov, a mathematician and Cardanian, who died last year and was, in case you haven't guessed it already, Bulgarian. Is this a sign that the hard fork named in his honor will be a success and Cardano will scale new heights? Now, by this point, the rest of September may just have to be called off before any more crypto holders are hospitalized with nervous exhaustion. So let's gloss over the release of the Personal Consumption Expenditures Index, or PCE, on the 30th. This is the Fed's preferred measure of inflation, but the rate hike for that month will have already been decided by the time it comes out, so you could argue that it'll be more of interest than importance by that stage. So, those are the dates we know about. But there is a chance our friends at the SEC may be feeling left out by this stage and could be planning some shenanigans of their own come the end of September. This is when the agency's fiscal year comes to an end, and don't bet against Gary and his buddies unleashing a whole slew of actions against the crypto industry in an effort to justify a bigger budget for next year. All those new staff they're hiring for their crypto division are going to want branded stationery and a new water cooler after all. Anyhow, SEC sabre rattling aside, with a bit of luck, the last week of September will be nice and quiet as folks everywhere focus their attention on taking pictures of leaves turning brown for Instagram. You know, what really matters. Hashtag autumn, hashtag autumnal, hashtag pumpkin spice, hashtag favourite time of year. If you enjoyed this, folks, don't forget to like, subscribe and do all that fun stuff. More coming soon. I hope you can join me then.